ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sumit Bose.
Mr. Gautam Chatterjee, Ms. Sandhya Baliga, Mr. George Zokragos, Mr. Shashi Kiran Shetty, Mr. Shantanu, Mr. Amit Kamath, Mr. Sailesh Bhatia, Mr. Debashish Datta, Mr. Ashish Padnekar, distinguished delegates from across the world and from within India, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar, good evening. I'm indeed very happy to be here today to be able to interact with so many distinguished members of the trade and industry from India and abroad. I'm especially delighted because we recognize the Federation of Freight Forwarders Association that represents over 5,000 custom brokers as a trusted partner of the Customs Department ever since the Federation was inaugurated in 1962 by the then Finance Minister, who was also a future, later our Prime Minister, Shri Morarji Desai. This is a special occasion. Besides FFAI holding its 21st biennial convention, I understand that the Board of Directors meeting and the AGM of the International Federation of Custom Brokers Association is also taking place at the same time. I am confident that the deliberations would be fruitful, and at the outset would like to assure you that we in government look forward to continuing to partner with you to facilitate businesses that rely upon movement of goods across international borders. These have been challenging times, both in India and abroad. They will continue to face challenging times. However, over the past year, a lot of efforts have been made to contain the fiscal deficit, to meet the many challenges in order to promote growth. We've seen some results. Our ratings have been upgraded. Fiscal deficit is under control. And I think we have seen some beginnings on growth improving. And the potential for growth, of course, is much larger. However, as I said, these are only the beginnings. We in India and economies across the world continue to face challenges. That's why I was very happy to hear Shantanu speak about difficult times and how you have to sail in difficult times, adjust the sail and move on. We are all doing that, and we in government would assure you that we'll continue to do everything possible to ensure that the economy grows, and we look forward to a growth, as the Finance Minister has time and again said, of between 6 to 6.5% in the coming year. I understand that the institution of custom brokers is practically as old as that of customs, which is a vindication of the excellent service being provided by them in facilitating global trade over hundreds of years. I find that in the United States, custom brokers were recognized by law as early as in 1799, that is over 200 years ago. They were then unregulated and made entries for goods in their own names. This led to some disputes, and a need was felt to regulate such agents. Thus, in 1894, it was provided that the Collector of Customs would license, and I quote, competent and reliable persons as agents. In 1910, the requirement was changed to persons of good moral character. I am telling you this because everyone must appreciate the high respect attached to the profession of customs brokers. In India too, the Sea Customs Act 1878 recognized the importance of customs brokers via its section 202. Interestingly, this provision required the approved person to give a bond for his faithful behavior as regards the Customs House regulation and officers. Thus, it is clear that throughout history, customs brokers have been expected to be competent, reliable, faithful, and have a good moral character. With such characteristics, I'm sure all of the customs brokers assembled in this auditorium make excellent spouses. On a more serious note, the Customs Department in India has traditionally been an agent of change, and the initiatives in recent years bear testimony to this. One reason for this is that globally there is a stronger fraternity amongst customs services, and the World Customs Organization plays an important role in propagating best practices in customs administrations. Therefore, by and large, the customs procedures internationally are similar. An advantage of this is that the global best practices are replicated in all countries, including in India. Thus, Indian Customs has implemented an excellent risk management system to expedite the flow of imported goods with minimum intervention by customs officers. I'm glad to inform you that this is now going to be applied to exports as well. Indian Customs has also embraced EDI in a big way, and over 98% of import and export transactions are now handled electronically. Needless to say, the increase in use of EDI, the e-payment of duty, and other such measures have reduced transaction cost and made business more competitive, although Gautam has reminded us that we have a long way to go. Other important initiatives include self-assessment, which Sandhya spoke about, that reposes trust on importers, exporters, and customs brokers to make correct declarations of imports and exports. An authorized economic operator program to secure the global supply chain, on-site post-clearance audit for on-site clearance of audit customs transactions, an interactive website that indicates at the touch of a button the tariff classification and rate of duty, and of course 24/7 customs clearances at select ports and airports. The AEO program in particular is now available to customs brokers, and it is a global experience that its membership boosts business. Another program that is in the offing is the single window. I believe that this program, which aims to integrate the IT network of various government agencies to facilitate message exchanges, will, when implemented, fundamentally change the shape of how customs functions in the country. This will greatly facilitate our trade and industry by providing a single point of reference for filing customs clearance documents and obtaining the requisite clearances without having to obtain agency-wise clearance as at present. And that should take us a few notches up on the global index. Considerable groundwork has been done and pilot programs are now being planned. As all of you are well aware, besides facilitating genuine trade, customs is also a major contributor to the national exchequer in India. In the last financial year, we collected over rupees 1.64 lakh crores. I believe that is about 284 billion US dollars. And the target for the current year is rupees 1.87 lakh crores or $322 billion. These are significant amounts that are used by the government in nation building and development activities. Moreover, the customs is responsible for guarding the economic frontiers of the country, as well as safeguarding society from the ills of drug smuggling, counterfeiting, commercial frauds, protection of intellectual property rights, and the like. Therefore, it can be well appreciated that the customs has to perform a complex, multifaceted task of garnering revenue, facilitating genuine trade, and preventing violation of legal provisions. I thought it important to capture for you in a snapshot the challenges faced by the customs, because I believe their task is greatly facilitated by their traditional partners from business, which is the customs brokers. Old-timers from the customs department tell me that when they joined the service in the then Bombay Custom House or some other major customs houses across the country, they were initially guided by seasoned custom brokers. This is a reflection of your high competence as well as the trust bestowed upon you by the department and the high esteem in which you are held. Indeed, as the custom department has evolved over time, I find that custom brokers have also to keep pace. This is very important for the department as well as the businesses that depend upon your expertise. Thus, I urge all members to appreciate their responsibility and the trust reposed upon them both by the department and the business community. You may have noticed that I have deliberately avoided using the term customs house agent so far. This is because the recent legal change through our budget 2013 has consigned the term customs house agent to history. On the face of this, it may appear a minor change, but it is extremely significant since the term customs broker is used globally and we were so far an exception. Thus, by making the change, we wish to give a loud message to the global business community that our customs agents are second to none. Our customs brokers are now on common ground with the customs brokers in other countries. A step that the CBEC took in the direction of empowering our customs brokers last year was to organize a meeting between FII and Secretary General of the World Customs Organization in New Delhi. This was the first, I'm told this is the first ever such meeting, and I think this was widely appreciated by the Secretary General as well as of great benefit to the customs brokers in our country. Talking of change, I would like to inform you that after great deliberation, we are shortly notifying the customs brokers regulation. This was necessitated by the legal change in name, but it also gave us the opportunity to address certain issues that were causing concern. For instance, there was a doubt about how to calculate the 2-year period of the oral exam from the passing of the written exam. There was also the oft-repeated demand that suspension of licenses should not be the only option in case of legal violations. These and other concerns have been taken care of, and we hope that the new regulations which will come into force these will come into force after about more than 20 years of the old regulations, would resolve outstanding issues. I would like to also assure you that our department is fully seized of the serious impact of suspension of licenses on the business of a customs broker and how it affects goodwill in the marketplace. So we are working together to find a resolution to these issues. At the same time, I would like to alert you to the fact that the Customs Department has become more facilitative. While the Customs Department has become more facilitative, the responsibility of customs brokers has also increased. For instance, with the introduction of self-assessment in 2011, both government and businesses now expect customs brokers will ensure correct declarations are made. The KYC norms also require customs brokers to be cautious while accepting new clients. Therefore, customs brokers need to be more vigilant and well-versed in the legal provisions, and a convention like this goes a long way towards that effect. I would like to conclude by reiterating the department's commitment to supporting FFAI and all customs brokers in their endeavors that lead to capacity building and providing excellent services to their clients. I believe customs brokers are important stakeholders and partners in ensuring an efficient business environment that reduces transaction cost while safeguarding revenue. I am confident the present convention will focus on new challenges and provide solutions that enable you all to discharge your responsibility more efficiently. We in government will look forward to learning about your deliberations over the next few days, and I would request the FFAI to let us know about the issues which are raised, about the solutions, possible solutions to issues which are raised. Share this with us, and I assure you that we in the government will look at them very, very seriously, share them with other departments where they need to be shared, and take action in the Finance Ministry where we have to. As usual, not everything can be resolved at one go, but I honestly tell you that we will give it our best effort and try and look at all the issues you raise. So please, at the end of the day, when you have drawn up your minutes, please provide us the issues which relate to us. I'm not saying other issues, but which relate to the government. Please share those with us. I wish all members of FFAI and IFCBA the very best. I hope all the foreign delegates here, you have a good look at Delhi, although it's a little warm, but still do have a good look around in Delhi while you are here and possibly visit other places. I'm sure trips are planned to nearby places. And to all of you here, apart from the serious delegations to which you are exhorted to participate in in a serious manner, I hope you'll also be partying hard and have a wonderful time. Thank you for having me.